Hi everyone, so this is mini lesson number 2 for lesson 19. And so I have sketched something on my paper here. And if we were in class, I'd ask you, what did I draw? What is this a shape of? What name would we give this drawing? And I'm hoping that you are seeing that it's something that we fly on a windy day, and so that we would call it a kite. And so kites are the last of the quadrilaterals that we are going to explore. And so if we were in class, I would have you sketch a kite, and then we would look at our kite versus our neighbor's kite and see how they're alike and how they are different. But since we're at home and you're hopefully listening to my voice, I'm going to use my protractor to draw a kite. And so my kite is going to start by I'm going to draw an angle of any measure. And the only thing I'm going to think about is that the two sides of this angle are the same length and that they are at least 2 inches long. So over here on my paper, I'm just going to mark a point. And I think I'm going to make the side lengths of my kite 3 inches. There we go. Okay, so here, I don't think I wanted okay, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want it to be that small of an angle, so I'm gonna go back to the drawing board, and that's okay. I wanted it to be a little bit bigger. It's easier then for me to measure angles. Okay, so now I have the beginning of my kite. So up here at the vertex, that's where my two segments meet. I'm gonna label this I. Okay, and that's called the vertex. And then I'm going to label my segments. This point is going to be K, and this point is going to be T. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to cut along the rays of my kite. And this is going to help us finish drawing our kite. So I'm just going to cut all the way down. And then I'm going to come over to this side, and I'm going to do my best to cut along that ray in a straight line. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper that I've cut, and I'm going to fold it. So that way my point T and my point K touch. And you want to try and do this as precise as possible. So I'm trying to match up where those dots would meet. And then I'm going to fold. Okay, so now when I open up my paper, I'm going to have a line that goes down the center. So to finish drawing my kite, I'm going to make a point E. So I'm just going to make it right here, and I'm going to label it E. So I'm going to use this point to finish drawing my kite. So I'm going to go from point T to point E. I'm going to go from point K to point E. And so now I have drawn my kite. And so we know that these two sides were both 3 inches. And so now I'm going to measure the new sides that I've just drawn. And that is 4 inches on this side. I'm going to measure this side. And that is also 4 inches. Okay, so let's take a look at our kite. So when we drew a kite, something that we are noticing is that these two sides are the same length and these two sides are the same length. So when we explore this shape, when we explore a kite and we look at kind of the things we've been learning, we've been talking about sides that are parallel to one another. And so in our kite, we can see that we don't have any parallel sides. What we do have are sides that are next to each other that are the same length. So line KE is the same length as line TE. These lines are next to each other. Line KI is the same length as line TI. These lines, or these sides, are next to each other. And so when we have sides that are next to each other that are the same length, we say that they are adjacent. So that means next to. Okay, when something is adjacent, it's next to something. So in our kite, we've learned that our sides are adjacent to each other. Okay, so now if we measure our angles, I'm going to start by measuring this angle first. I can see that this angle here is an obtuse angle with a measurement of 122, it looks like 122 degrees. And so if I come over here and I measure this angle, which would be angle K, I can see that angle K, that is measuring 123. And if I measure angle E, oh, and Ronan just woke up from his nap, which is why you are hearing him. Angle E is right around 130. And angle I is right around 72, 73. Okay, so here's the thing with kites. If this was a precisely drawn kite, then my two opposite angles right here, hi buddy, my two opposite angles right here would be the same. And you can see those are pretty close to one another. One is 122 degrees and the other is 123 degrees. So I'm actually going to stop the video. You're going to get a mini lesson number 3. Actually, you're going to get a problem set with the remainder of mini lesson number 3, why I tend to Ronan. Okay, so we're going to come back. We'll finish kites when we start the problem set.